Think back to a specific choice you made this morning. Maybe it was picking a specific route to work or choosing one coffee brand over another. It feels like a moment of pure conscious agency, but neurological data suggests the process started long before you realized it. This timeline tracks the gap between brain activity and conscious thought. In laboratory settings, researchers can observe a subject's motor cortex finalizing a decision up to 7 seconds before the subject actually registers the choice. This 7-second lag suggests that many of our daily actions are guided by a subconscious architecture, a set of hidden psychological rules that nudge our behavior before we even have the chance to think about it. One of the most persistent of these rules is a self-centering bias. Your brain prioritizes your own experience so heavily that it convinces you everyone else is doing the same. This is the spotlight effect, the tendency to overestimate how much others notice our appearance or our mistakes. This bias was documented here at Cornell University. Researchers found that students wearing an embarrassing shirt believed half the people in a room had noticed it, when in reality, fewer than 20% actually did. We spend significant mental energy performing for an audience, largely preoccupied with their own lives. While we overestimate how much others watch us, we often underestimate how much they influence us. Our internal feelings are rarely as private as they seem. This diagram shows emotional contagion in action. It's driven by mirror neurons, cells that fire both when we act and when we observe someone else acting. They allow a volatile emotional state to bridge the gap between two different people. If you walk into a room filled with anxious people, your brain involuntarily begins to mimic their physiological state. You absorb the tension of the person sitting next to you without ever saying a word. Emotions are communal. A single person's stress can ripple through a group, turning individual moods into a collective, reactive network. In this social network, we often try to build bonds by projecting perfection. We assume competence attracts people, but the data shows that flawless behavior can actually create a sense of distance. This is known as the pratfall effect. When a person perceived as highly competent makes a small relatable mistake, like spilling a drink, their likability scores actually increase. Vulnerability makes them human. There is an even more counterintuitive way to build a connection, the Benjamin Franklin effect. Logic suggests we do favors for people we like, but the brain can be tricked into reversing that order through cognitive dissonance. This chart shows the resolution of that mental tension. When you help someone you dislike, your brain struggles to reconcile the action with the emotion. To resolve the conflict, it rewrites its opinion, concluding that if you helped them, you must actually like them. The brain prioritizes internal consistency over logic. It uses these small acts of help and shared moments of vulnerability as tools to manufacture trust. These rules also dictate how we handle information from the world around us, specifically our brain's deep-seated discomfort with anything left unfinished. The Zeigarnik effect explains why your mind loops an interrupted task or an unresolved argument. The brain maintains a higher level of cognitive tension for incomplete information, making it nearly impossible to forget a cliffhanger. But while the brain hates gaps, it is also easily overwhelmed by abundance. We often assume that more choices lead to more freedom. This branching tree illustrates the paradox of choice. As the number of options increases, the mental effort required to compare them eventually exceeds our processing capacity. This leads to choice paralysis. When faced with too many variables, the brain often shuts down or leaves us feeling less satisfied with whatever we finally pick. These cognitive blind spots, the need for closure and the struggle with abundance, are frequently exploited by modern media and retail environments to keep us engaged and anxious. These behaviors, the biases, the social shortcuts, and the mental loops, create a biological system evolved to help us navigate a complex social world. While that 7-second delay suggests we lack total conscious control, recognizing these patterns offers us something practical: the ability to see the strings. Understanding these rules allows us to be more patient with our own anxiety and more honest about our flaws. It reminds us that most people aren't judging us, and that a simple request for help can change a rival's mind. Your mind is a vast network of rules you're only just beginning to map. To keep exploring, subscribe to Insight Psychology. Stay curious.